For decades, ESPN was one of the most powerful brands in the United States, but it has been in decline for some years now. ESPN has lost millions of subscribers. Revenue has fallen sharply. The network had to lay off more than 100 employees. Network executives appeared confused, but sports fans knew part of the reason. ESPN had become unbearably political, propaganda a lot of the time, not a sports channel. In 2017, commentator Jamel Hill tweeted this: Donald Trump is a white supremacist who has largely surrounded himself with other white supremacists. Okay, talking heads on sports shows routinely bashed Trump and anyone who didn't share their disdain for him. Here's one example.
We must respect the office, therefore that confers respect to the occupant. Tiger, is that what you're saying? If that's what you're saying, that is a stupid comment.
I think it was classless on the part of the president of the United States. I don't give a damn that, they're talking about White House employees on furlough because of the whole border security issue with the Democrats.
Well, finally, the company seems aware that politics may be part of the reason for its decline. Bombarding viewers with left-wing polemics is not the reason that people tune into a sports channel. In a new LA Times profile, the president of ESPN, the incoming Jimmy Pitaro, said he steered the company's commenters away from divisive political topics and back to sports. Will that work? Jason Whitlock is a host on Fox Sports 1, better known as FS1 on cable or satellite, and he joins us tonight. Jason, thanks a lot for coming on. So
Thank you, Doug.
It sounds like the new guy understands that most people tuning into a sports network don't want politics.
Yeah, I think Jim Pitaro is doing the absolute right thing. I think he's backed by Bob Iger, the head of Disney. I think they have figured out that too many of their employees were addicted to social media and Twitter, and they laced their comments on air and over social media to be pleasing to Twitter rather than to sports fans. And so the quickest, easiest way to build up your social media traction is to attack their president. And that's why so many of their commenters got into the habit of attacking the president, because it was good for their social media brand. And I think that Bob Iger and James Pitaro have figured out your social media brand doesn't help our television ratings, our television network, or the perception of our television network and the satisfaction of sports fans. And they've told their employees to cut it out. I think it's smart.
Yeah, Twitter doesn't actually generate revenue for its users. Something that most people seem to have forgotten. But you think that ESPN's move toward politics was driven by its on-air talent and not by the executives?
Oh, absolutely, by the on-air talent. But the executives in some way, too, because I'm just telling you, social media had everyone fooled. If your Twitter following was up, that meant, oh, my God, you're resonating with sports fans. And what they have figured out is like, no, you're resonating with political people, hard left-wing people, and that elevates your Twitter following. It does not please sports fans.
That's such an obvious point. I still think to this day you're the only person I've heard make that point. Why did it take, I don't know, a decade for them to figure that out?
Well, listen, because executives operate at a level 30,000 feet in the air, and agents, you got to remember, all these media people, journalists used to not be represented by agents. Most of them, I'm not, but most of them are now. They're represented by agents. And agents like to go in and argue with executives at TV networks. Look how well my employee's doing. Look at his Twitter following. Look at her IG following. My God, you must pay them more. And ESPN, I'm telling you, they used to have those conversations and used to pay people based off their social media following. And it took them years to figure out that's a whole different group, a whole different audience than sports fans.
That's the smartest explanation I've heard for a very confusing phenomenon. Jason Whitlock, thank you very much for that. Good to see you.
Thank you, Tugger.